Hello and welcome back. I am that James guy. This is the Southern Victory mod to Hearts of Iron 4, and we are in episode 2 now. So we've sort of done a few things. We've got total political hegemony, which basically now means that the collectivists and the socialists, Cuba, and the New Africa in New Orleans, have been sort of dealt with now, and that's going down, or at least it should be. I think the way it works is by increasing the strength of that, their percentage will effectively go down. I know there will be a rebellion possibly there when either of them or both of them hit 30%. It was in the comments in the last video. I don't know if it's 30% combined or if either one individually gets to 30%, but it makes the point of this decision here being actually fairly worthwhile. But we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happens. We're also training up the Confederate Army. Getting our equipment sorted. We're mostly just short on guns. One of the things we are doing, though, is we're working towards getting our infantry divisions to be 7.2s. Seems like a very sensible thing. That is not a 7.2, that is just an empty tile. I think we're almost there with the artillery now. Yeah, we need 3,500, so I think we can put one in, which will save us a whole bunch of guns and help get some of our divisions underway, like those ones there in Georgia, and also fix some of the other ones. Yeah, because the second army is currently en route to being done. They're training. They also need training. That is my Marine Corps, and then there are my Tonk divisions, or my barrels, as they're called in this universe, and we're sort of working on just building a few of those up. Here we go, we established front companies. I think we were working our way down the focus tree to do the 3-year plan stuff, so we could get the economic stuff sorted out. We do now have access to the world stage thing. I just wanted to get the infrastructure stuff underway. I might grab the bonus to land doctrine, because that will nicely sync up, actually. So I think we'll do that one now, because that will sync up nicely with when we get a spare research slot. And you can go ahead and maybe... Where are we? We're in 37, almost 38. I think we'll just take that, even though it's fairly ahead of time. I don't mind doing ahead of time bonuses. Or sorry, taking the time penalty. It quite often makes a degree of sense. And I think as well, it might be time to start switching to Milfax. I mean, our construction speed is so broken because of the Great Depression, which is why I wanted to get it. Oh no, we've still got the Treaty of Trenton, which basically means it's not such a great idea to be building anything that isn't a civilian factory. So I think we'll continue doing that. Once we finish you off, we'll do liquidate unprofitable assets to get us 2 more civs. Like so. Quickly before we pick this, how is our air? So our air is fine, but we will be getting the Lee before we get the next other thing. We can't go up to war economy. So I guess we'll grab tank destroyers. Heavy Tonk, well, I mean, it just does armor, but it's hard to attack an armor, so I guess we will go for them over any of the others. Even if you do make tank destroyers much better, I think we prefer the Army Ordnance Department. You can do liquidate unprofitable assets. Mobile warfare will finish, and then we can grab delay. The Navy is something I haven't really looked into yet, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. There are a few places we obviously want to hit over here, like the Bahamas and things, with the Marines, just to get rid of those islands, which I guess the Marines can start sort of thinking about working on. There we go. Out of interest, actually, yeah, the Marine template's not the best thing in the universe. We will upgrade them to a 7.2 with a engineer company and a cavalry con, and a support artillery. It's going to use a whole bunch of our army XP, but it's fine. And in actual fact, I think we'll train up the last 2 of those as well. That's very nice, the Confederated Americans Worker Front. I think I prefer the resources, though. Then we can cut back on some of our trade. And how's the artillery looking? Once that gets to about 1,500, we will pull up the next change to the 7.2s, and then that should be okay. Tanks are still a bit of a struggle, but oh well, frankly. Keeping an eye on these, I think we might have to pop the collectivist one, just to make sure that they don't get to their 30%. The last thing we want is a rebellion. And the next question is, what happens with Mexico? Do we actually have to fight them? Or will they sort of just disappear? Apparently something happened over in China. The National Unity Front died. That gives us a research slot. That gives us consumer goods factories. I mean, the research slots are always the most valuable, and they're only 35 days, so I think we'll just sort of whiz through them left to right. Confederate intelligence services, I guess. And that one looks sort of Confederate-y. The Eagle. We'll see if the spies are going to be worth much to us. I imagine they will be. Now, manpower could be a concern for us, so I'm thinking we may end up using field hospitals, so we will work on grabbing that research as well. Almost in 38. They're training away. Why are we building garrison divisions? Did we just need that many more garrison divisions? 14. 5. 9. That does get us to 14, so maybe that was the point of doing that. I mean, that would be sensible, wouldn't it? Well, the next question I sort of have is it going to be worth getting anti-tank or anti-tank in our divisions? Probably, possibly. Who knows, right? They just need guns. You boys can just go down there. I guess we're going to want to train, or at least begin the order of another infantry army. We're going to need a lot of dudes for the fight with America. They are rather large after all. Even if we are a bit more prepared than them, at least potentially in the grand scheme of things, establish the CAWF. With the political advisor, I think we're going to grab the war support man. Keep our war support high. I mean, it does give us div attack on core and stuff. Sure. And begin spying. Makes sense to start work in their capital, I guess. And we are going to work on getting some of the spy tech stuff done. I'd like to be able to set up spy rings around America so that we have good intelligence on them. Certainly seems sensible anyway. Now we have some very nice high infrastructure zones in our incredibly centralized industrial setup here. 90%. 90%. You're only an 80. New Orleans is a 60. We'll work on that. You know what? I think we may have to fire up both of those again. We are going to have to keep a fairly strong eye on the on them, just to make sure we don't accidentally get caught out. Autarkic. Was that autarkic administration? Helps reduce the depression, which is good, and gives us some political power and some stability. I mean, we're already at like capped stability, so that's not really a huge thing. I mean, it is something. You can begin work on that. You're going to go do this. After we do autarkic administration, we'll grab final economic recovery to get us out of the depression. We can't do any of these until we're at war, so that's fine. And then we'll go and grab ourselves return engagement proposal, I guess. We'll also start grabbing our companies. We'll use North American Aviation. Or you're the Marines. You're going to continue planning the attacks on whatever these places are. Basically, the goal is to knock out these American naval bases right by our coastline to protect the sort of Gulf. That should therefore be okay. We're ticking through 38 at fairly high speed. There isn't a lot we want. I think we will get the 25mm cannon. Maybe it is worthwhile. And I think we should now be roughly fine to whack in our next artillery piece. Nope, nowhere near. Fair enough then. Building that other stack seemed to have scuppered that idea. I mean, I guess these things happen, don't they? I don't really care about the navy stuff. As long as our navy's strong enough to make sure they don't do naval invasions, that's pretty much fine by me. That being said, our marines are going to be pretty good, so we might grab the special forces upgrade. You've done that. You can now grab return engagement proposal. I guess we're just going to keep whacking planes in Richmond just for now. We have a fairly strong air force, I guess. It's not huge by any means, but it's better than nothing. And all things considered, it probably is a little bit bigger than the American one. Or at least that's the hope. Have a quick look at intelligence. I mean, we have barely anything on them right now. Between 600 and 1200 planes, which pretty much means they've got like 900 planes. If we look at ours, we've got 1400, 1500, 1600, 1650. We should be okay. We'll fire up both of those. Keep dealing with that because it is actually going up now. Though the ultra-nationalism is also doing fairly well. Improved infantry equipment. You can hang around and wait until that happens. That gives us a 90-day penalty but gets rid of Old Guard. What does Old Guard do? Div organization penalty. That's probably worth doing. That being said, we can also start going down the world stage stuff now. Let's fire that up and see what happens. Are you infantry divs? You are. Awesome. Are you there? Congratulations, 3rd Army of Mr. Willard. You can just sort of chill there for now. 3rd Army. We will need more tanks. We are sort of working on it. We'll start getting the Lee researched. You can now start getting the next land doctrine researched, 163 days. I guess the plan is that the tanks are going to have to be pretty heavy on, like, the operations around Kentucky, I guess, while we're going to use infantry to push up towards Washington. That being said, Washington is not the major VP that it would be in vanilla, for fairly obvious reasons. We don't really have many options here, do we? We kind of just have like one in a... We don't even have 3 options in that category. Then again, remember, this is a beta, this mod. We're very, very early on in the process. So that's fine. I don't really have problems with those sorts of things. Fire up another one of those. We gained so much political power, so that's fine. So now we can do either establish the Golden Circle or join the Entente. So this is where decisions get made. If we reaffirm Entente ties, we can join the Entente along with Mexico. We encourage attacks in the north where they get resistance. We can journey to Europe for political power. We can do the Richmond Agreement, inviting the Yankees to Richmond. Where we do some... Looks like we do like plebiscites in all our lost territories to see if they want to go to us. Then in 41 we could do Operation Blackbeard. There's also Transcontinental Diplomacy over here, which requires us to have done Operation Blackbeard. That gives us war support. European Diplomacy, East Asian Diplomacy, I don't know what those decisions will be. Support Desiree, that will be a thing. Support Canada, that could be a thing. Mexican question, support or intervene in an alliance of equals, the Greater Confederacy. And then New Order. That requires us to have done attack Puerto Rico. So the other option, of course, is revive the Golden Circle, which means we cut ties with Britain, or we do New Monroe Doctrine. Oh, it requires both. And then that means that we... the Havana Award. Having seen that their position in the region is untenable, the British and French have agreed to negotiate. We'll purchase their possessions in the Caribbean in exchange for a guarantee not to threaten their interests further. Sure, we'll have to pay a paltry sum, but what price is that compared to mastery of the Western Hemisphere? There's also seize the Caribbean. I mean, I guess we'll do... oh, that requires us to be at war. Then we can go to war with Puerto Rico. We can intervene in Mexico. So we can annex Mexico, I guess. And then do the Greater Confederacy. So if we did that, we would end up, like, you know, seizing all of this. Seizing that. I guess the Dominican Republic and Haiti are sort of independent, but we could deal with them. The other option is the more historical route. I say historical, the canonical route, rather. Whereby we do, like, Operation Blackbeard and stuff. So I'm not hugely sure. I mean, it's going to take us a while to get the political power for it to be a thing anyway. So I think we can wait for now. And just grab reshuffle general staff, I guess. Annoyingly, I like the idea of doing both options. Like, I like the idea of doing Golden Circle and Mexico and all of these things and having, like, well, the Golden Circle Confederacy from the Ohio to the Amazon, which is this one, you know. So Ohio is what? Where is Ohio? My American states. So Ohio is that one, fair enough, all the way to the Amazon. I mean, that's a pretty big country. If we can core all of that, we'll be ridiculous. Then again, gotta love the canonical options, right? How many artilleries do we have now? 1,500. We're getting there. We're not there yet. We do need more. Grab the armor research. That may enable us to get, like, the 1941 armor fairly quickly. The Mark III picket. I think that'd be quite a good option. I mean, the thing is, getting rid of Mexico would be quite useful. Because they're not particularly great, are they? They're a vassal, and if we can core it, we get all their factories and all their guns and everything else, and that'll be just, you know, nice. I think I've decided we're going to do the Golden Circle route. Congratulations, team. We're doing the Golden Circle. Now that we've got rid of the Great Depression, we still have the Treaty of Trenton. Is there anything that deals with that? Renegotiate Trenton. Oh, that requires us to be liberal. We can still do invite the Yankees to Richmond, even if we've done, well, any of the following. If we do cut ties with the Entente and New Monroe Doctrine, for example. So that's still fine. I guess we still work on building up industry this way. Proper concentrated industry plan, clearly. I mean, we now have 90 civ factories. I mean, we are very much getting there. I mean, what sort of difference is that? That means our industry is repeal the 7 words. Apparently we're doing that. That gives us some political power. That's awesome. President Jake Featherstone has done a thing. Good. President for life. That seems fair. I think Coastal Defense Fleet kind of makes the most sense. I think we'll do that. Revive the idea of the Golden Circle. Let's do cut ties with the Entente. I'm sorry, Britain. Japan is going after China, so I guess in that respect that's canonical with real history. And I think we're going to start churning out Toad Anti-Tank and Toad AA, just to make sure that we... I mean, I'm kind of ending up doing a sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? Like a superior firepower type build. Shantung was puppeted. That's going fairly quickly in China. We no longer get the effects of reshuffle general staff. Well, that seems good. That does mean that our Marines are going to be pretty good with the commando buff. Can we train any more? We can indeed. How many more? 2 more. Perfect. Happy with that. We're going to go for quite a strong Marine Corps. Featherstone attacked in Richmond. Shoots the last Estathas. Oh wow, we can become Knight of the Prairies this way. Don't know quite what happens there, but that does mean that we then end up with another route through the focus tree. Knight of the Prairies. Reorganize the party. We become the Redemption League. We assassinate Koenig. Sideline Goldman. Reshuffle the cabinet. This just gives us popularity of that. Reform stalwarts. Work with the opposition. Here to stay. I mean, Featherstone just shoots the last assassin, I guess. Featherstone is doing it. New Monroe Doctrine. The arrest of Willie Knight. The anti-Featherstone plot uncovered. 6 more years. And that does mean that we've now lost this boy. So I guess we're going to have to take Ferdinand Koenig next. 1 year. We can take that. Given that we can't do a lot of our stuff until 41 anyway, I'm not really fussed. I'm being brutally honest. Pull you off, put you on artillery. Speaking of, how's that looking now? Not there yet, but we are getting there. It's really all about the Civ factories, isn't it? Hopefully we're going to get a bonus to conversion. I hope. We're also running out of nice infrastructure places to build these factories in. Oh, it's 1939 and I've forgotten about industry tax. That was dumb. Well, we'll catch up and sort that out soon. Vilify Mexican landowners. Apparently we're going to need to do that to do Operation Blackbeard anyway. Oh! Yeah, never mind. Blockade the Antilles. Let's do that. Let's get the Caribbean. I mean, it's going to give us like all of these islands, which are pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Lots of them. Actually, if we're going to war with Puerto Rico, that would make sense for me to actually have the Marines planning, you know, Puerto Rico. Rather than, you know, something that we're not going to be doing just yet. Let's get Koenig. Prince of Terror will come in handy. And my god, we forgot about this. Let's grab advanced machine tools. When we get the 1939 gun, we will start getting that churned out. The tanks are almost full, which is nice. You can start building the Charlton 2. You need to go do Concentrated Industry 3, and you need to go do that one. Blockading the Caribbean, they get an event. Let's hope we're successful. Hopefully we will be. Let's do the Havana Award. So we'll do that one. I like these little one city tiles. They're really going to be quite easy to defend, hopefully. And it's going to give us some redonkulously concentrated industry. We're also going to use them for our basis of our radar stations. Like so. We'll churn out all those radar stations very quickly. We'll put those up there. Should be fine. Socialists are growing in power again, so we'll give them a deal with situation. Missing equipment. Oh yeah, you were going to become a military policeman to do that, weren't you? And you were going to become the cavalry brigade. Oh, apparently we own the Republic of Suriname. Did not realise. That's going to save me, like, 20 infantry equipment. That's something. First Army, Second Army, Third Army. They're getting there. Right, let's train up them. Another 200 close air support. Good to go. Another 100 fighters. Now, I will admit, we've mostly got these interwar biplanes. Oh, no, we don't. We have proper planes, never mind. Britain accepts the Caribbean deal. Perfect. What about you, France? In before France says no. Let's get ready to attack Puerto Rico, I guess. I don't know. I really ought to organise the Navy a little bit. Fact. Let's do that. Anything that's marketed as Pacific, I think we're going to leave over in the Pacific. Which I believe is just the reserve destroyers. Oh, and special assignment forces. Oh, you know what, we'll just bring all of the Navy over. Don't really see the point in having the submarines, but whatever. You boys are going to go on that mode. We'll drop the submarines and just group up all of those boys. Pacific Reserve destroyers. Ottoman Empire rejoins the Central Powers. I mean, that sort of stands to reason. We kind of expected something to go like that. Attack of Puerto Rico. Let's do vilify Mexican landowners. That gives us a war goal on Puerto Rico, which we can, you know, just immediately do. I realised that our USS Saratoga carrier doesn't have any planes on it. That's something, I guess. Well, that was easy. We're just going to annex it. I don't see the point in puppeting it. Gives us another naval base, though, doesn't it? Which we like. Huh? Oh, when we formed the faction, we invited Brazil. Did not realise. That event certainly didn't fire for me. Oh well. Life goes on, I guess. And we're about to have the deal with Mexico thing happen. So I guess with that in mind, we're going to, you know, put the first and second armies on the Mexican border. They can get some combat training. Plus it'll even up this corridor here. So we don't have to panic too much about that when the time comes. So put the armoured core down there. Ready to go. My understanding is we probably have enough artillery now to do our big thing. Roughly we do. 300 short, happy with that. Vilify Mexican landowners. That should mean that we can now do intervene in Mexico. No, it requires us to have done the Mexican question, which requires us to have done Operation Blackbeard. Fair enough then. So now we just can't do anything until 1940? Is that pretty much where we're at? I guess we grab the new Air Force thing then. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should line up the 2nd Army. Like so. 1st Army is going to be like so. 3rd Army going to be like so. This does make me feel like I want another one for Texas. Maybe this is going to be a bit more of a struggle than I thought to get everything right. Then again, with all things being equal, we should have a larger industry than the Americans. Can we go up to a war economy yet? I really want to get rid of this Treaty of Trenton. There's nothing we can do about it, though. Yeah. It's really causing me concerns. Maybe the American army is bigger than I thought. Seems Al Smith has won the election. They've got, what, 49 to 176 divisions, which means they've got like 110, I guess. We will do the same thing with those factories. You can go ahead and grab battlefield support. Start churning out the Lee. Really could do with more mill factories, I guess. Just seems quite hard. I mean, what about conversion? How long does conversion take? Barely any time at all. Let's convert Houston and Richmond up to like war footing. And we'll leave do you and Richmond at the same time. Then we'll do Houston and that next. And then we'll find somewhere else with a lot of infrastructure, like you. And we'll do Norfolk and Norfolk the time after. We'll continue churning out actual civs, but in the meantime, that's fine. You can go and improve your spy network on that bit of America. You can go grab fighter development so we can get the fighter very quickly and get that underway as soon as we are able. We're also going to start decrypting the American cipher. It's going to take forever, but it's worth, you know, getting it underway. We'll become the spy master for the bonus spy as well. Where's Tonk Man? There he is. He is going to sit on the plains, like we sort of thought about here-ish. Seems like a very reasonable plan. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to hit duplicate. Same with you. Apparently I can't duplicate you, but I can duplicate you. That's fine. Everyone that needs training can get training. So now the question is, they can stretch and cover the whole of that. Now, most of the American army seems to be sort of they're not as good as my infantry divisions, so that's fine. There are places where they are stronger, though. Places where we might be stronger. So that's kind of fine. Let's grab the close air support thing. We're now starting to get some more mill factories, which we're going to do stuff like that with. I like the idea of getting the support anti-tank and the support AA into all of these divisions, but we're going to need quite a bit more before we can afford to do that. Alfred Howard to continue building up our spy network. Mostly interested in how many factories they've got. We won the election. Who would have thunk that? Who would have saw that coming? Guy who rigs election wins election. Now, one bright side, we can actually shift this over to the... Oh, we don't have a close air support one. Never mind. Tactical bomber development. I'm not sure we're going to use them, but we might as well try. I guess we might as well just, you know, load up all of them. Nothing's really stopped by doing that, is it? That seems fine. Save that. 2 more motorized divisions. Barrel division seems good, but does need more attack, basically. So what we'll do is we'll make it kind of like the equivalent of a 7-2. Okay. Column of motorized infantry. Or actually... $23. God damn it. How are you 23? How does that equal 23? Because they're 3. 3, 6, 9. Oh, yeah, because it would have to be an even number, wouldn't it? $16. $20. There we go. 20 width. Perfect. That's what we want them to look like. Train 2 more of them. You're gonna go ahead and grab the armored car research. Reasons will become clear soon enough. You're gonna go grab the stallion. I'm gonna continue building conversions. Sort of like this. Seems like the most sensible way of handling it, if I'm being brutally honest. That can sort itself out as it goes along. Sort of desperately trying to get to the actual war or some semblance of it in this video, by the way. That's why we're not quite rushing through, but we're certainly picking up the pace. Tactical bomb development and some improved infantry equipment all seems very, very sensible indeed. About to be 1940, so we can grab that. If only it was an ahead of time bonus where I would do that just to be able to grab, like, other stuff. Though, maybe getting to the land doctrine is a good idea. And again, we can do that in one of the following. 800k in the field or 1st of May 1940. You know what, we're not far away from 800k in the field, you know. We're just annoyingly close. Annoyingly close to the point where we can almost afford it. Get the ground cruise thing. Have an intelligence check on their air force. Still not quite got it. Somewhere between 1.5 and 2.5k, which basically tells me they've got just shy of 2k in the planes. We've got about 2k, so we're actually now on a par. Roughly what that tells me. Start churning out the picket. Those light tanks can come up short. They need to go onto the mediums pretty much in their entirety, because we want to be converting to medium tanks. We will still use light tanks, but we want to be converting to medium tanks. Okay, Hughes Bloodhound. We're about to get the Hughes Stallion as well. You can do that. You can go and grab introduce new air force. And we want to convert you to the Hughes Bloodhound. Put new factories on both of those. Start getting these new planes up and in the sky. Sky? Sky. Sky, that's definitely what I meant. Sorting out our trade. Seems reasonable. That's the Schofield Stallion. Means we can get rid of that stupidly named arse kicker. And we can start churning those out rapidly. Right. You know what? I think we'll probably just start building Milfax. Then again, the construction speed bonus is so slow. I think I'd rather just keep converting where we've got a fair few. Like this. And we've still got a lot of factories this way, haven't we? It's just we're churning out even more. We're just converting our industry to war rather than other stuff. Let's get mass fighter deployments. We can get 3 more Milfax for free. Everyone loves a free Milfac. Improved decimetric radar. That's fine. I do want to upgrade my radar. You two of them can go and join the armored corps. Clearly having a struggle. 776. You all need to make sure you're trained, by the way. Grab that. Oh great, there's a heat wave in the south. Well, we'd better stay at home, I guess. One thing we could do to fix the manpower thing is whack these boys in. Which I think we can... Yeah, we're almost able to afford it. That puts us over 800k as well. So that makes us that makes us there, doesn't it? In fact. Grab you on that. They're fine to just all sit like so. We'll start churning out even more tanks, I guess. Medium tanks for the win. Oh wow, that's really nice down there. Didn't even notice that. One of our spies must have died and it didn't give me the notification. Love it. Fire up those. Fire up more decryption. Yeah, we definitely outnumber them. Also, their division's considerably worse than ours. I am fairly happy with the mass industrialization of the Confederate States. Especially when we consider the amount of tank divisions that we're about to be churning out as well. Because what we are going to do is we're going to start converting you into medium tanks once we get a bit more other stuff. Alright, let's grab the Richmond Agreement. Those boys have rocked up into the 1st Armoured Corps. It's kind of like we're running out of stuff to... I need more civ facts if I'm going to do my thing. You know what? Let's be crazy. Let's build infrastructure. So I can just industrialize Georgia very quickly. It's probably worth doing. Then that should give us back a lot of these core territories that we have, like Sequoia, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Houston, El Paso, the Nogales Triangle. And we invite the Yankees to Richmond. The US says yes. On the condition that everyone gets to vote and that they will remain demilitarized. Well, that's fine. So as I get the industry back. Don't really want the terror bombing stuff. What we want to do is get that for the technological breakthroughs. When the event fires, I think we'll be ending the session / this video here. It's been a pleasure, as it always is. Remember, if you do want to watch these videos or similar playthroughs to this live, then join me over at twitch.tv/thatjamesguy. And I mean, I play Hearts of Iron Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, so there's plenty of opportunity to watch there. And also remember, basically it's all pretty good. We'll be continuing this as soon as we can. I plan to get another video on this to go out tomorrow, and we'll continue until, well, it's all over, I guess. Let's just sort out that research. But yeah, as I said, we will be doing basically playing this campaign to continuity. And if you've got any suggestions for other mods you'd like to see me play, then I am perfectly happy and willing to do such a thing. The barrels can start getting their medium tanks in. 100 short, that's fine, because most of that's stuff over there. Improved decimetrics, that's okay. That's all fine. Everything's okay. You do need to grab the 1940 stuff there. When's this plebiscite? Oh, it's derp, it was a decision. I mean, we've got the political power to fire up full campaigning. Also arrest some Cubans and things. Do technological breakthroughs. Votes in 160 days. Currently we are winning pretty much everywhere. I think the only place where it's not going so well is Sequoia. But, I mean, Houston, very Confederate. Kentucky, very Confederate. Sequoia's not looking so promising. Hopefully we'll also get the Missouri Spike. Where is Sequoia? That's this one, isn't it? Oklahoma and Sequoia. That's going to be quite a nice place to get, though. Right, that's helped considerably. Hopefully we'll be able to fire that up again, or it wasn't just like a one-time thing. increase tank production. Then we'll do mass mechanization as well, gives us that stuff. I mean, I'd like... Certainly would like more mechanization in the army. Don't have anything wrong with that. In fact, we're gonna... For a start, we're gonna lay down the armored cars for garrison duty, because manpower could well end up being a problem. We're gonna start pumping out that. And we're gonna start pumping out the mechanized equipment as well. Everything's rolling ahead of time now. We're running out of things that are on time and on budget. No, it's all ahead of time, but we'll grab it. We're sort of pretty much ready for war, but just the Americans don't know that yet. Where's this improved barrel construction thing? It says it unlocked a decision. It has not given me a decision. Either way, this episode is really dragging on. I may end up having to put a cut in halfway through, but either way, it's been a pleasure, guys. You're getting a salute. It means a lot to me. If you have enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. But I think that's it for now, and we will continue this one tomorrow. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.